First at 4, a confession that took more than 18 years. A mother who now has the answers she's been seeking.
I feel like you finally begin to transition from the victim to the victor.
Questions surround the disappearance of Natalie Holloway finally answered. Also, a big shakeup in healthcare in Southeast Michigan. 2 hospitals joining forces. And here's Paula.
The owner of this dental office says no to a pot store. No signs, yes signs. No signs, yes signs. We'll take you to the latest city that has a big pot store battle brewing.
Well, we had a little sunshine, but now the clouds have moved in and rain is right around the corner. We'll talk about it coming up first at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Devin Skillian in for Karen Drew today. First at 4, the 18-year mystery surrounding the disappearance and death of Natalie Holloway is now over. The prime suspect in the case finally admitting he did it. As part of a plea deal on extortion charges, Jorn Vandersloot confessed he killed the American teenager in Aruba back in 2005. He also admitted after killing Holloway on the beach, he put her body into the water and never saw her again. Vandersloot says he acted alone. A lie detector test has confirmed his story. Holloway's mother talked to reporters after a court hearing, and you could certainly hear the relief in her voice.
It's been 18 years since Natalie disappeared, and Natalie would be 36 years old today. I still miss her every day. It's been a very long and painful journey, but we finally got the answers we've been searching for all these years. We finally, today, we got justice for Natalie.
Today, Vandersloot pleaded guilty to charges that he tried to extort money from Natalie's mother years after her daughter's death. He was sentenced to 20 years for extortion and wire fraud. He cannot be charged with murder in the United States. It's not clear if he might face new charges now in Aruba. All right, back here at home, there is a new hospital partnership in the works. Henry Ford Health has agreed to work with Ascension, Michigan. The release says Henry Ford will take over Ascension and Genesis healthcare facilities in Southeast Michigan. Those affected include Ascension Macomb, Oakland, with campuses in both Warren and Madison Heights, plus Ascension Providence hospitals in Novi, Southfield, and Rochester. The combined organization will have 50,000 team members and more than 550 sites across the region. You can read more of the details on the agreement. We've got those right now on our website at clickondetroit.com, where it has been trending for the last couple of hours. 3 people had to run for their lives during a house fire in Oak Park. Luckily, they're okay, but the home now badly damaged. This happened on Sloman Street near 9 Mile. We're told the flames broke out about 1 o'clock in the morning. Some neighbors saw that something was wrong and ran to alert the residents. Fortunately, no one ended up being injured. The fire investigators are still trying to figure out what started it. First at 4, monitoring the UAW strike, but not really seeing any sign of an approaching deal between the union and any of the Detroit 3. Instead, we've learned General Motors is postponing its annual Investor Day. That was scheduled to happen November 16th. Instead, GM wants to focus on labor negotiations. They have now pushed that event into the new year. Strike has now been underway for 34 days. About 34,000 UAW members are on the picket lines at the moment. Our business editor Rob Maloney will join us with a live update on the negotiations coming up on Local 4 News at 5. It has now been 28 hours since 3,700 Detroit casino workers walked off the job. Live picture here of the Hollywood Casino at Greektown. MGM Grand, Motor City also being targeted. Workers are pushing for higher wages, reduced workload, and to protect their health care. All 3 casinos plan to stay open during the strike. We'll, of course, keep you posted on that battle as well. All right, let's take a quick look at the first forecast. Forward meteorologist Kim Adams standing by with a look at a very nice day that we've had. Kim?
Did you see the sunshine today?
I sure did.
I knew you wanted it yesterday, right? Well, now it's disappearing because we do have some clouds moving in, but at least we made it into the 60s today. 62 downtown. It's 61 right now out at Metro Airport, low 60s in Ann Arbor and also in Howell. It is 12 degrees warmer right now than it was at the same time yesterday in Pontiac, 10 degrees warmer out at the airport and 9 degrees warmer downtown and in Mount Clemens. Tomorrow, temperatures get back into the upper 50s, but we do have some rain to go along with it. Could be heavy at times, and then cooler weather arrives just in time for the weekend with highs dipping back down well below normal for this time of year. We'll talk more about that weekend rain coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Kim. President Biden trying to get results during a visit to Israel, even as anger spreads over the bombing of a hospital in Gaza. Doubts remain about who's responsible for the blast. We'll be getting to Kim in just a moment. The president's siding with Israel right now. Hundreds of protesters fought with Lebanese security forces today near the U.S. Embassy in Beirut. Many in the Middle East angry, blaming Israel for the hospital attack that left hundreds dead. Israel has denied responsibility, blaming the terror group Islamic Jihad. That group says it wasn't them. Well, the war between Israel and Hamas continues with new explosions today. We're seeing new intense bombardments near towns in southern Gaza, where Israel had actually ordered civilians to take refuge, moving them out of northern Gaza. But much of the focus continues to be on that hospital blast. Right now, U.S. intelligence officials are telling NBC an independent assessment shows it was a misfired rocket launched by Palestinian Islamic Jihad. President Biden's summit with Arab leaders was canceled after the blast, but he did, as I mentioned, go to Israel. Kimberly Gill here to talk about what the president accomplished. KG?
Hi, Devin. Good afternoon to you. President Biden is the first American president to visit Israel during a time of war, and he's already on his way home. He's walking a fine line as he tries to stop the conflict from spreading, pushes for peace, and he's making one thing perfectly clear in this conflict. Listen.
The United States unequivocally stands for the protection of civilian life during conflict, and I truly grieve for the families who were killed or wounded by this tragedy. The people of Gaza need food, water, medicine, shelter.
Well, just after meeting with President Biden, Israeli leaders announced they will allow Egypt to deliver limited quantities of humanitarian aid to the Gaza Strip. It's the first crack in a 10-day siege. The statement says deliveries will be allowed as long as the supplies don't go to Hamas militants. This new war started after Hamas launched a rampage against Israel, killing more than 1,400 people and taking nearly 200 hostages. President Biden condemned the devastating attack and offered his vision for how to end the violence.
We must keep pursuing peace. We must keep pursuing a path so that Israel and the Palestinian people can both live safely, in security, in dignity, and in peace. For me, that means a two-state solution. We must keep working for Israel's greater integration with its neighbors. These attacks have only strengthened my commitment and determination and my will to get that done.
Well, right now, it's not clear when that humanitarian aid will start flowing into Gaza. Truckloads of supplies have been waiting at Egypt's only crossing into the territory, but the facility there has been damaged by Israeli airstrikes, which could, of course, slow the process. But we'll continue to follow it and keep you posted.
We see there he is mentioning the two-state solution. Doesn't it feel like we're so far away from that today?
Exactly. Yeah. We'll have more coming up at 5.
You bet, KG. We'll see you then. Over on Capitol Hill, meanwhile, it's 2 votes, 2 defeats for Republican Jim Jordan as he tries to become the next Speaker of the House. Here we are without a speaker with everything that's going on in other parts of the world. The vote finished a few hours ago. 22 Republicans voted against the Ohio congressman. That's actually 2 more than he lost in the first vote yesterday. The path forward? Really unclear right now. Some Democrats are proposing the interim Speaker pro tem, Patrick Henry, should be given more powers so that the House can at least just start doing basic business again. It's been without a speaker since a small group of Republicans kicked Kevin McCarthy out of office. That was 15 days ago. Is the city of Rochester ready for recreational pot shops? We're going to find out in a few weeks, but the battle getting pretty heated as neighbors lobby neighbors trying to swing the direction of the ballot battle. Paula Tutman noticed the signs all over the place, started digging into the debate. What'd you find, Paula?
Hey, Devin. Hi, everybody. Well, start with that it's pretty contentious, and it's likely to get more contentious still as Election Day nears. We're talking about November 7th. But as you can see, the information wars, those campaigns, they're in full force. Two questions on the ballot in Rochester. Question 1, changing the city charter to allow recreational cannabis dispensaries inside the city limits. And then the other ballot initiative to allow cannabis dispensaries. The topic pits neighbor against neighbor. There are 3 locations that could become dispensaries, and right now, 4 applications. So if the initiative goes through, the home theater store and the chiropractor's office on Main Street, diagonally across the street, Bangkok Cuisine restaurant. The owner of Bangkok Cuisine, a longtime staple on Main Street, says his employees are getting numerous angry and harassing phone calls.
They're causing shame on you. You should be ashamed of yourself for doing what you're doing, and employees don't even know what's going on. They're like, what are we doing?
But he's not even the owner of the building, and he had no idea his location could possibly become a dispensary until he found out about the ballot initiatives like everyone else. Amy lives in Rochester. She is a stroke survivor, currently helping her friend Kevin, who recently suffered a stroke. She says she's used marijuana in different forms to ease her pain.
It helps people with a lot of medical issues and a lot of different elements such as that.
Michael agrees.
I think a lot of people who don't use cannabis would see it as a negative and think like, oh, it's going to be near children and schools. But I mean, how I see it, there's a liquor store right downtown. Nobody bats an eye. So what's the deal?
Kathy doesn't.
The big deal is the fact that it's going to bring a lot of traffic downtown, and there's not enough parking right now.
Kim Russell sat on the Rochester City Council and is leading the effort to defeat the initiatives.
For 3 stores, it will approximately bring in 1,200 more cars a day. It's also a cash business, so it's not federally regulated. And so a cash business brings a whole other problem. So when they say money for police officers, that is a total misconception because we actually have to add police officers.
To me, it's just all about money for them. And if they're thinking that way, then they should be bringing in the dispensaries because it's going to make the city a lot more money than what they think.
Listen, there's a lot of confusion out there. A lot of citizens are being barraged right now. A lot of information, but also a lot of disinformation. Where do you get the information you need so that you can make the decision for yourself? Go to your city website, put a link on our website, click on Detroit.com so you can get that nonpartisan information. And then, of course, don't forget to vote. Early voting starts actually the 28th, which is a Saturday. Devin?
Yeah, community after community. We've watched go through this fight. All right, Paula.